Good video, the Rich Cooper video.
Yeah, that one that I sent you.
Yeah,
That was fucking epic.
it's a really smart thing because a lot of guys don't ever. I had a guy get my enigmatic elephant. That guy he dropped into my DMs about is it ever okay to have one itis like if she's a super hot model? I was like, no, bro, because like the second you put her up on that pedestal, she's gone. She's like,
Yeah,
I
dude.
got this guy, fucking loser. That's the mentality, man.
All
It's
right, let's
just
hit this. We're live right now. We'll jump right into that, eh?
let's go right into it.
Gentlemen, we are live. How are we doing today?
Cracking.
This
I'm
is
a little under the weather.
you
A little under the
fucking
weather, but I'm feeling better today. It's better today. Yesterday was kind of shitty, but yeah.
John Fitch had some something happen yesterday where he got a little
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
I'm doing well though. However, I'm about to move, so I'm dealing with all the stress of having to.
Mm.
Dude, holy crap! Holy crap!
It's a
I was
pain, but
trying
it's
to.
good. It's good sometimes because you get a downsize.
Yeah, that is the beauty of it. Is you get to downsize, you get to kind of go through your stuff and inventory and get rid of the shit that's kind of weighing you
Prioritize.
down. Yep. Minimize
Yep.
again. But I'll tell you what, dude. I've moved probably about 16 times in the last 5 years.
Ooh.
Um, yeah, so I'm like, this has been the first. Last year
She's
was
got
the
a
first year,
backpack at this point.
dude. I was doing that for some time. I was doing that for some. You should see some of my stuff that I have. I
Mm.
mean,
You don't really need that much, really. I mean,
this is
I've moved quite a bit too, because yeah, I moved from my first condo to a house we remodeled, then I moved to Syracuse, New York, moved back to San Jose and lived with my ex's parents for a little bit, and then we moved to Las Vegas, and they were there for 2 years, and then moved back up here to back to the house, sold the house, and I moved to an apartment, and then I bought this place, moved to here. So like, yeah, man, I understand the stress. I finally broke down and started using movers. Like I used to do all this shit myself. Like I would move the bed by my, I would move everything. I moved everything, loaded it into the U-Haul, drove the Jeep up on a trailer,
mm-hmm.
and drove 35 miles an hour all the way to Vegas from San Jose, California.
This is the
Semis were
first
honking at
time.
me and passing
Yeah,
me.
dude, same boat. I'm like I said, moved 16 times. The beauty of me falling apart and losing everything was the fact that I was able to learn that I could survive with almost nothing.
Yep.
It's not a great existence. It was very lonely. It was very harsh. It
Mhm.
was hard. Um, but for those
Yeah.
2 months of literally trying to sustain life, of just being on my own in a way, and kind of living off the land, so to speak, very difficult, very difficult. And I was like, man, I actually do want to go back to society and kind of, interact with human beings, but not
Mhm.
nearly as much. But I'll tell you, man, the same boat as you too. Every single time I've moved, I've packed everything myself, loaded it into the U-Haul, gone and rented it, and this is the first time that I'm actually getting a mover. And it's only one bedroom. It's
Yeah.
nothing crazy, but I'll tell you what, dude. I'm really excited that all I have to do is just kind of pack and then let somebody else, because I live on the fourth floor
Mhm.
too. I was
I
sitting there
had,
thinking about moving all my shit down the fucking elevator and then
mm,
packing it in and then having to
yeah,
drive.
I
I was like,
had,
you know what, fuck this shit. I'm
we've
getting
got
moving.
some younger fighters, that some Russian younger fighters that work for actually now there's two of them are from Colombia, but younger guys, up and comers, they work for like a moving company part time to help pay for
Yeah.
stuff while they're doing their work. Like they wouldn't let me touch anything. It was remarkable.
yeah,
They're like, no, coach, no, you sit. Like
yeah,
you
yeah.
got it. They wrapped everything up, took everything.
Yeah,
I
how
was like,
nice is that
dudes,
though?
yeah, it's amazing. But yeah, just that's a good example in like letting go. Sometimes you just gotta let go and let other people do shit for you.
Yeah. Time and energy is money, man. Honestly.
Yep.
People I was very hard headed for such a long time about that stuff, dude. Like,
Yes.
oh man, this is gonna cost me so much money and all this other stuff. But you know,
Okay. So
the
here's a trick that I learned with
let's
that.
hear it. Let's hear it.
So this works with everything because I get that still. I get that cheap. I don't want to spend that money. I don't want to spend $200 on this. I can do it
Scarcity, man.
myself, right? So it's a bit of yeah, scarcity mindset, but you're looking at it like how much does this cost instead of what does this get me?
What value does it bring me?
What value does this bring me? What does this
Right.
give me? If I pay this guy $200 to move this stuff, what does that give me?
Right.
Like, oh shit, it gives me fucking a whole day of shit to do. I could write, I could read, I could
Right.
do something with my business. Yeah, it's a big change to let that stuff kind of go.
It's why I'm such a big fan of outsourcing now. I think I was even telling you this right when we first started getting together about
Mm-hmm.
building brands and stuff. Like, huge fan of hopping on Fiverr and just paying somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Like, hey, this is what I'm looking to do. You know, here's my criteria and here's what I want it by. Boom, here you go. Here's $35. Here's $40. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
you know, build my fucking website. I'm not gonna sit there and try to fucking learn HTML code and all this other shit.
Oh.
I could outsource it. It's the same thing here. Sure, I'm a big brawny dude. That's like my purpose on Earth at a fucking fundamental level is to pick things up and move them from point A to point B. Honestly, like if you were to look at my build and my physique, that's what I'm built for. I am a fucking like, hey Gronk, fucking pick this up and move it, and I'm just like, okay, you know, like, you know, but I had to get over that shit. Like even though I can do it, doesn't mean it doesn't mean I have to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you start moving into like, you know, one of the big things that I'm really delving into right now, as far as my reading and what I'm consuming, the content that I'm consuming is, you know, entrepreneurship. And you know, I'm a former business owner. Everything I've ever done in my life has been some kind of like entrepreneur, you know, whatever they want to call it, venture.
I
right?
haven't had a boss in 20 years.
Exactly. But the thing is, even though you're an entrepreneur, you still need to have mentors, right? You still need to have people kind of like guide you in the space.
Yep.
And these are some of the things like, you know, there's some books out there like The One Thing that kind of tells you how to focus on just the one thing and get that accomplished. Or when you're investing your energy, you're investing your energy into just one thing. There's another book out there called A Company of One that teaches you how to run numerous companies as you as the only employee, the boss, and so forth, and then just outsource all of your stuff. And these are all the things. What am I reading or I'm listening to Unscripted right now? Big fan of MJ DeMarco. He wrote The Millionaire Fastlane. You know, I'm just absorbing all this content, and it's in line with where I want to go, right? And it's taken me years of being this fucking stubborn asshole in a way with this scarcity mindset. Because you got to remember too, what's up, everybody in the chat? How are we doing today? A lot of my upbringing, I was raised by very stubborn Sicilian, Italian grandparents that trickled down to, you know, and these are people that came over in 1921 who fucking survived the Great Depression. You know what I mean? Like their whole mindset in life was like penny pinch, stretch the dollar, just work hard and life is going to fucking turn out okay for you. If, you know, don't trust anybody else because they're trying to take your money, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, and hide your fucking money under your mattress kind of thing. Now, granted, I don't do any of the above anymore, but this is years and years and years of conditioning into the mindset of, like.
Well, it's also, you know, people who were raised through World War I, a Great Depression, World War II, like, you know, it's just different times. You know, your situation is going to affect a lot of
sure.
how you are living.
Well, think about that genetically too. They're showing studies now that those kinds of what they mark as like traumas, right? Those emotional types of traumas, those are actually heritable. Those are passed down genetically.
I can believe that because you could take somebody who's never seen a spider or a snake before.
Yep.
They're automatically afraid of it, and that's hereditarily passed down generation after generation of experiencing spiders and snakes biting and killing people.
Right.
I think there's also a reason why others and outsiders are often viewed negatively. I think it's a natural response to millions of years of a new person. Hey, hi, what's going on, guys?
Right.
And then
there's
disease and people die.
Then he stabs you in the heart with a
or
fucking
he stabs
spear.
you and he takes your leg. Yeah. Well, yeah. So it's invaders, but also disease, because they had no idea germ theory didn't come until we were already, you know, sending colonies over to the Americas.
Right.
They didn't even know about germs. So like an outsider come over and cough on you and everybody dies. Well, it wasn't like, oh man, he was sick and we got died. It was an outsider killed us all.
Right. Absolutely.
It was the heebie-jeebies around the outsider. So we still have that kind of conditioned into us.
It was voodoo, some kind of voodoo or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Or
magic,
God was just
bad demons.
Yeah, exactly.
We made the gods mad. This guy made the gods mad. We got to do something to sacrifice people.
I get it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing too. I'll be open and honest right now about all my finances as well. I've probably washed through about 20 grand in the last 2.5 months. Investing in different things as far as trying to grow myself, as far as trying to grow my business. You know, one of the big things that I
Investing in
invested.
yourself, there's nothing wrong with investing in yourself.
I agree. These are courses and seminars that I'm investing in. These are products that I need in order for me to grow and build my market. You know, online marketing,
the money I
networking,
spent
all this
to
stuff.
go to 21 Con was fucking 100% worth it.
Right.
Worth every penny.
But the other thing that I want to tell people about is this, and this kind of ties into what we're talking about. I've purchased a bunch of scams as well. I bought like, I'll be straight up honest. There's a few things out there. Like I've had some people say, hey, I'll grow your Instagram account fucking XYZ, or
I had my Instagram account stolen.
no shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking epic.
Yeah.
That's epic.
He stole it for, I had 10,000 followers already and my blue check. And yeah, man, I took a chance, and this guy, he basically just some kid from the Ukraine stole it because he had the blue check.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. But you learn a lot. Like, this is the thing, kind of like what you're talking about. Everyone has these fears like, oh, this is a scam. I know it's a scam. This guy, you know, especially these promoter types.
It's failure versus spectator.
Right.
Failure versus spectator.
Well, let's talk about this then.
Don't be a tater. Don't be a tater.
Don't be a fucking tater.
Don't be a fucking tater.
I've learned so much. And I know going into this stuff, I'm like, this is a 50-50 chance. There's a 50-50 chance that this dude's going to fucking take my money.
Yep, and laugh.
And he's going to be a piece of shit, right? Exactly. He's not going to deliver what he promised. But
I'm going to tell you something you already know.
Right. It's one of those things where I know it sounds stupid, but I would much rather look back in my life when I'm older and say, you know what? I tried everything. I tried fucking everything in order to reach my dreams, rather than sitting there like you just said and being a fucking tater, not even on the fucking bench, not even on the sidelines, but in the fucking crowd. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sitting here and I'm looking at all these stories, and I beat myself up quite a bit. I'm my own worst critic. Seriously. And I sit here and I'm like, why the fuck am I not successful yet? I have all the fucking makeup. I have all the criteria. I have all this stuff. And I sit there and I hear these stories about all these dudes who have fucking failed numerous times, over and over and over again, who just kept throwing themselves out there over and over and over and over again. And finally they fucking make it. And these are the stories you're hearing about these people, right? You end up hearing about them being successful because, you know, the fact of the matter is, they just fucking didn't give up, right?
You don't give up. It's like the video game. They give video game mentality. Like you buy a brand new video game, and you don't beat it the first time. You don't quit. You don't throw the video game away, right? You die until you get Mario up the ladder and beat King Kong or whatever.
Right.
Dating myself with video games right now.
That was such a great generation though. Video games.
Is my audio okay? I realized that I was using my computer and I switched it over.
I feel like your audio is okay. Anybody in the chat? How's John's audio?
Good.
We'll wait for the delay there. Yeah, I'm liking it, so we'll just stick with it.
Okay.
Maybe it's a little low. I'll turn it up on this side. Hello. All right, we're good. Yeah. Yeah, man, I've been beating myself up a little bit too because, you know, in the past, I kind of did the same thing with my business. I was like, you know, I was a little bit, now I know how to spend my money a little bit better. Kind of the big lesson that we were just talking about was, you know, outsourcing and hiring different types of management and giving it over to, you know, I wasn't focusing on marketing or advertising. I was like, oh, that shit costs too much money. There's no way I could fucking afford this. So, you know, I'll just get better equipment and hopefully word of mouth will go. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just kind of bought some dumb shit. Now, like, I started to beat myself up because it's like, dude, every time you get money, you just kind of like let it flow. Right? But that's actually like, I'm sitting here looking at it now. I'm like, wait, this is actually a tremendous quality because how many people do you know that earn money and then they stick it in a bank account and they are fucking so scared to let it fucking move whatsoever? You know what I mean? Like, whether it be investments, whether it be building themselves.
Man, that was one of the key takeaways from one of the talks at 21 Con. I can't remember his name, but he was saying that, you know, saving money isn't saving money because of inflation.
Right.
Like if you're putting money in the bank account, even if you're buying stocks, like you're not really saving money. Like the only thing that holds its value is gold. You're not going to make gold. You're not going to make money by buying gold.
Right.
You're only going to save. That's the only thing that stays the same. Right.
Right.
Like an ounce of gold back in Roman times bought you a really nice toga, nice haircut, and a good meal. You take that ounce of gold today, you get a really nice suit, right? Really nice haircut and a really nice meal. Same.
Yeah.
You know, all that time's passed. Gold holds its value. Everything else doesn't. So he's saying like the only way to make money, the only way to get rich is to create money. If money's not coming in, like you're not making money.
Yeah. The thing is, it's not save and it's not reduce your expenses. It's income. Everything is about income.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not growing your income, right, you're not building wealth. Yeah, exactly.
So I will say that the waste is waste. But yeah, you're not going to get rich by cutting out the Starbucks. You're not going to get rich by
cutting
getting
coupons.
rid of your
You're not going to get rich by any of that stuff. You're not going to get rich by being frugal. You know, most people in America end up making $1 million in 10, 15, 20 years. You technically earn $1 million. It's just, you know, what are you doing with that? And the biggest thing that most people are doing is they're trying to look rich instead of fucking being rich. You know, a lot of people are going out. I mean, I live in fucking San Diego.
They live at home and they drive a Beamer.
Exactly.
Live with mommy and daddy, but they drive a Mercedes.
Dude, I'll tell you one thing. I love cars. You guys can see cars littered behind me. And when I fucking get to the point where I'm financially free, you better believe I'm buying all of those cars. You better believe it. Mm-hmm. But up until the point that I'm financially fucking free, you're not going to see me go out and fucking waste money on something like those because, you know, there's a reason why they call them luxury items. Luxury is not a necessity. It's not a necessity.
It's a throwaway item.
You got to understand, that luxury only holds value to you, really, in a way, right? And you got to understand, especially with a car, fucking terrible investment, right? I drive a 2014 Ford Fiesta right now. I fucking hate it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love it. It gets me from point A to point B, and it's a reliable car. But I hate it because, you know, here I am surrounded by all these people. Honestly, right? Surrounded by all these people that are driving brand new fucking Porsches, brand new fucking Audis, brand new whatevers, right? Brand new Mercedes. You know, they live in, I mean, the place that I live in right now, the rent is like $2,350. And they go to work fucking 5 days a week and then trade in their 2 days on the weekend for fun. And then they drive around their nice things. But guess what? They're fucking indentured servants. They're glued to their job for them to fucking survive. If they lost their job tomorrow, how much stress are they going to be in? How are they really going to feel about their life? Right? Like, what choices do you have? It's, oh, fuck, I need to go find another fucking job because I have a $500 car payment, $250 for fucking insurance, you know, $2,350 for rent that I'm splitting in half, Netflix, what else? Netflix, cell phone bill, internet. Like, dude, like, add all that shit up. That's like $5,000 to $6,000 of just outflow of dollars.
Yep.
Like, what are you, like, not to mention probably fucking student loans. How much are did you take out student loans?
I did not.
Oh,
I wasn't. I wasn't gonna.
What do you think the average price is for somebody? I think it's like $500 a month that people are paying for their student loans on average.
Probably. I mean, I paid for my ex's student loan debt. Ew. I didn't get that. I didn't recover any of that back.
Yeah, of course you didn't.
Christ.
That's what they look for.
Scam.
That's what they look for. They're looking for a guy to fucking scoop up their debt.
Now I realize, like, I was dating the girl I was dating before I moved to California. Now I didn't realize it then, but like, she was trying to hard play me to, I guess it was like a soft ultimatum, right? Because like, she'd give me the good booty. She was super hot, but then she wasn't sure what she was doing. We were both graduated, so she moved up to Chicago, which is like 2.5 hours away from Purdue University where I was at, to live with her aunt. And then she became like born again Christian. So she cut the booty access off. And then like, she was trying to leverage me to like probably make a move, I think, to marry her, thinking back on it. And she had like $90,000 worth of student loan debt. Right. And like that was probably what she was trying to do. She's trying to,
I'm sitting here looking at her sexual strategy right now from a fucking play-by-play, and it's just fucking, that's brutal.
Yeah,
That's
and now that
brutal.
I'm a 24, 25-year-old kid, this girl, I mean, dude, she was super smoking hot, like
Yeah.
unreal hot, like for a farm boy from Indiana too.
Ugh.
And man, yeah,
God damn.
like you start seeing back and looking back at it, and I can see a similar pattern happen with my ex also. You know, she graduated school and then moved back to San Jose, but then she wouldn't live with me because her parents wouldn't approve. And then it was too much stress living at home, so she wanted to move back to LA, right? She like lived in a garage, a real shitty situation, but it was the greatest time ever, whatever.
Mm.
Bullshit. And no, it was a soft ultimatum also. It's like, well, I'm not gonna move in with you unless we're moving forward to marriage. Well, like she says that she didn't want to get married, but like why did she do that? Like I don't even think these are conscious decisions sometimes.
No, it's I had one of my main plates come over last night, and we were talking because she follows a little bit of the stuff that I do. Not too much. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't really give too much of the details, but I've kind
Well,
of
they do when they are into you, they will adapt or conform a little bit to your frame.
absolutely.
So
I'm
like,
actually gonna post this text too to Twitter here in a little bit, but I'll read this text that she sent me because dude, fucking chicks are crazy. She's got a sugar daddy right now because I'm not gonna be her fucking sugar daddy, right?
hmm,
And she's telling me, she's like, oh shoot, I might have to meet up with my sugar daddy at 6. So can we do tomorrow? I'm like, I'm not fucking. She knows I'm banging other chicks, right? She can tell from the amount of condoms I have on my fucking what's it called, how active I've been and all this other stuff. It's pretty funny, but she knows what's up. So when I give her a slot, she better fucking make it, right? So she's like, I'm supposed to meet up with my sugar daddy tonight. You know, I'm like, oh, we got a sugar daddy now. I'm like, whatever, who cares? I don't care, right? I don't want to fill that void anyway. So, then she texts me. She's like, never mind. I blew off my beta for my alpha, smiley face, and I blew off money for you. And I was like, I'll give you a money shot for your dedication. She's like, what's a money shot? And I was like, I'll show you. Right? So she comes over and, dude, fucking not bad, right? She's just like massaging me all night and all this other stuff. Super cool. And we just start talking. And like, here's the thing that you kind of have to understand about these girls, right? Is most of these girls are jumping over to this fucking sugar daddy stuff, right? So it's like you have to make a choice right now in this day and age of what role you want to play. I think. Would you rather be the alpha that she fucking blows the beta off for, or would you rather be the sugar daddy, right, that can kind of get sex using your resources, but you don't really hold the respect or the frame?
mm-mm.
So I'm sitting here like, okay, well, at least I'm in this position for that. Of course, I'm going to have to compete with this dude too anyway, but I don't really care because my demeanor on this is, you know, she's a plate. I don't care if it falls off. But then we start talking when she comes over, and she's like, she starts talking about having a baby.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, we're just talking about kids in general in a way. Because I was eating at a restaurant, and I was telling her about this fucking little girl next to me that just started fucking bawling because she wanted to play a video game on the iPad, and the parents were like, no. And then the kid starts fucking crying and making a tremendous scene. And I was just like, man, you know, some parents just don't understand, you know, kids and all this other stuff. And she's like, well, that's right. And she's like, I don't know if I could ever be a parent, but then there's a part of me that wants to have kids. And I was like, this is what's crazy is that what people don't realize right now is that you have a hardware and you have a software. Right? Your hardware is telling you kids. I think she's 27, yep. Right? No kids yet. Yep. She's like, yep. I want to get married and I want to have kids, but I also don't want to.
That feeling's going to ramp up for her in the next 4 or 5 years.
And that's what we're talking about. Exactly. That's exactly what we're talking about. She's like, you're so right. She's like, there's a subconscious thing that's going on in my mind where it's saying have kids, have kids, have kids, have kids. But then there's another part of me that's saying don't. It's going to ruin your freedom. You know how much work that's going to be. You're never going to have any fucking free time. All this other stuff. And it's just like these women, kind of like what you're talking about, you know, they're going to operate in the way that they're going to converse with you. They're going to operate and they're going to converse with you based off of their software. They're going to say, oh, you know, I want to, this is how I want things to be, and this is how it's going to be. And, you know, I kind of like what you're talking about, where you're like, oh, she was living in this fucking shack in LA, but her software was telling her, oh, I'm free and independent and I don't have any judgment, so therefore I love it. But at the same time, it's like I live in a fucking dingy shithole and I have to fucking take care of everything all by myself. Whereas I could live in a, you know what I'm saying? Like I could just find a man. I could find a man, right? Like fucking nature.
Build a future.
Right. But they don't look at that as an investment. They look at that as a loss. They look at that as a negative in the going into the red. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's conditioning. That's social conditioning. Like, why would you not think that it's a good thing to find a partner and then or partners and build something together, build an empire together, rather than go it alone? It doesn't make sense to me. It's consumerism. I'm convinced. It's not even. I think that everything has been corrupted by consumerism, even feminism. Because in the beginning, feminism had good intentions, but I think everything's been corrupted by consumerism. Buy, sell. They just want more opportunities to get your money.
Right. I would even consider that too, like even in the self-help space. I don't think we really have many authentic people in the self-help space that are like really truly there for the reasons of wanting people to get better. Instead, it's how can I mass appeal? What kind of thing can I push out there? You know, I'm even going to come out and say this too. Everyone fucking loves Tate. For some time there too, I really enjoyed Tate when he was first kind of like coming up about a year ago. I'd say, you know, most people will say he's been already up and coming, but in the manosphere type of thing about a year ago. And I bought into his PhD course, and I loved his PhD course because he was being authentically himself, and he was staying within his lane of what he was like good at. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, this is my brand, this is what I'm good at, and this is where my personality is really authentic. And then he got fucking roped into the whole, hey, put out as many fucking courses as possible, promote yourself as this fucking bad boy, all this other stuff. He got into fucking trading crypto and all this other shit, and he's putting out these fucking courses. And I bought, you know, I talked to him personally. I was like, Tate, I got like 20 G's right now. I'm trying to figure out how to fucking become a millionaire as fast as possible. I don't really have much going on. Don't really want to work. Trying to build my brand by doing this, my book, all this other stuff. He's like, join the War Room Trading Academy. Learn how to trade fucking crypto. I was like, I'm dumb with this stuff. I don't fucking know anything. He's like, it's for beginners. Don't worry. We'll show you everything you need to do. So I buy the fucking course, right? And it's like way advanced. And then there's a whole bunch of other shady shit that's kind of going on with it, where like you have to get a VPN, and you know, you can't trade if you're in the US, so you got to get a VPN, and if they fucking find out you're in the US, they can close down all your stuff and take your assets and all this other shit. And I was like, fuck that. Like, no. Like, you didn't tell me that. Yeah, I was like, you didn't fucking tell me that. You told me it was for beginners. You told me that you're going to walk me through this. Yeah.
It's crypto in general. It's just, it's
well, you could, you could trade crypto. You could trade crypto through Coinbase and like Bittrex and stuff like that, and like buy and hold, and you know, learn where the fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could do it in a normal way, but they're like trading with leverage and doing all this other stuff, which means when you trade with leverage, you're technically borrowing fucking coins from other people from this fucking whatever, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Don't buy the courses or the education. Just buy the full Bitcoin. That's I believe the same thing too, right? Play it. You know, buy it low, sell it high if you can, and then reinvest. That's
yeah. I mean,
like old school stuff. So either way, long story short, I'm going through this course, and I'm just like, dude, this is not what you promised. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't anything what you promised. You told me it was for beginners, that you'd walk me through it, all this other stuff, right? None of that. I was like, do you have a return policy? And I'm dealing with his fucking whatever. And they're like, yeah, 30-day return policy. I'm like, good. I want to return this product. I don't like it. Like, this isn't what you promised. Not like I bought a few of your other courses, very, very happy with it. Mm-hmm. This product is a fucking scam, dude. I hate to throw the word out there, and I hate to call you a fucking scam artist, but this feels very scammy to me. And no response. Send a fucking email again. Hey, are you gonna what's it called? Are you gonna honor this 30-day guarantee? Are you gonna honor this 30-day refund window? No response. Hey, again, you know, start talking to some of the other people on the website. You know, hey, you know, 30 days, right? You said. You're like, let me talk to Tate. No fucking response. It's like, dude, you know, this world right now, just kind of like what you're talking about, of being addicted to this kind of consumerism and selling certain things. Like, the fact is, don't lose yourself. Don't lose yourself in the fact that you're making money and you're like this big boy kind of deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, still remain authentic. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong, dude. And kind of like what you're talking about is, it's like, instead of looking at your people that are purchasing your stuff as human beings that you're trying to help and serve, you're instead looking at the numbers. And I think that's in a way kind of what corrupts it. And I'm not saying that's everybody, but I'm saying I think a lot of people, they'll find a niche area where people are like struggling a little bit, and instead of focusing on the purpose of it, they're instead focusing on the profit of it. I don't know. That was just my diatribe on that whole thing.
It could be.
What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, the crypto thing in general is dicey. Because I was trading more and I was following it pretty closely, you know, back when I was in Vegas. Like, I was watching it. I started following Bitcoin when it was $5 and I saw it jump up to 15.
Oh man.
And I was like, man, I kept telling the ex about it. I wanted to start getting in on it, but like, she was always rolling her eyes and like making me feel like I was an idiot for paying attention to it.
Right.
So I didn't get in until it hit 600.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I could have helicopter money right now if I just would have listened to myself instead of listening to a woman.
Right.
And
now,
I bought and traded. You know, I got it in at 600. It dropped down to 200. I was buying and trading on the markets, whatever, trying to figure things out for myself. And I kept getting heat from the missus about being on my computer all the time instead of like working a job. And like she's on Instagram, like,
yeah, no shit,
criticizing me for trading and trying to make money.
Yeah,
so I
stopped.
stopped.
Get back on the plantation. Yeah.
So I stopped and missed out on a lot of money, I think. But then I held what I had, so I made a little bit of money.
Yeah, let me. I think that Bitcoin is going to be part of the future. I think
digital,
that gold and silver
assets online, absolutely.
I think gold and silver will still remain. I think that we're going to go into also a bartering kind of system again.
I mean, we've already seen these things happening. You go on to eBay or Let Go or some of these things, you can trade people's stuff straight up.
Right.
There's already barter systems going on. You have the digital currencies, you have gold, silver, stocks. Like the stuff's all I don't think one's gonna overtake everything.
No,
else.
but I think there's gonna be a blend. I think right now cash is still king, but I don't think cash is gonna remain the king.
They're printing so much money out. There's one of the talks at the 21 County I was talking about. We're on 80-year cycles, right?
That's very true.
Right, we're on 80-year cycles, and you can track it back all the way back before Roman times. You know, the strong men make easy times make weak men, weak time makes hard time. Right. So we're right at the weak men creating the hard times coming up, and the hard times are right around the corner because we're right around that 80-year mark.
Oh yeah.
With the Civil War, and then the next 80 years was the World War II, Great Depression, and then we're getting around that mark now. So I think that's a big part of what's going on is we got the hard times are coming. Buy some crypto, buy some gold.
Yep.
Buy your guns and ammo.
Mm-hmm.
and then buy some water filtration stuff and then have that around.
And TP.
Yep.
Unless you could just go to Walmart and.
Well, if you have gold, silver, and guns and ammo, you can take whatever else you need. Yeah,
but again, too, with the whole bartering aspect, you can barter fucking toilet paper very well on top of 22 ammo. That's prepper me talking. The problem
I would
TP,
rather
though,
if shit hit the fan, I'm taking my guns and ammo and I'm going to the drugstore. I'm cleaning the drugstore out.
Damn.
Because then I'll have water, guns and ammo, and medication.
Yep.
I can trade for anything at that point.
Agreed.
Get your boogie bag, your shit hits the fan bag ready to go.
Yep, absolutely. You know, a lot of people fucking make fun of preppers. I'm a prepper. I got a whole bunch of shit. But
Dude, they're shutting power down left and right, rolling
yeah,
blackouts in California right now. Fires, all kinds of shit. Like we have a big earthquake right now. We're fucked. A lot of
yep,
people are fucked. A lot of people will die.
yep.
We have a level 8, whatever,
Uh-huh.
the Richter scale. Yeah, trouble.
Yeah. Not bad. Not bad. I've been gun shooting once in my life. I live in Arizona. I'm hoping to learn to shoot, own a gun, etc. How can I learn? Anytime you feel deficient in any area of your life, go hire a coach.
Yep.
Invest your
can
money, go hire a coach.
you can Google and look for a school around, look for a shooting range. I guarantee they have lessons you can take. You're in Arizona, so I think that you could probably get a concealed
Easy.
carry easily.
Easy in Arizona.
You can go and take
all of the above.
concealed carry course. They'll teach you, and then you can even, if you really want to go after it, you can look for like a more tactical training system. There's a place up in NorCal called Tirana Tactical. That's where Keanu Reeves trained for his John Wick movies. And I've seen Kung Lee, Burt Kreschner, like Joe Rogan. Those guys went up there too and did some training. So those places exist all over the place.
Yeah, I'm
I
looking at one
actually
place
have a
called
friend.
Site.
If I get this, if I put the work in and get the community men's group kind of up here going,
yeah,
I have a friend who's really into shooting and the Sunnyvale Gun Club. He's over there, and I'd like to get him involved, and then have be able to take guys over and learn how to shoot from him.
Hell yeah. No, this is part of the. This is part of the
part
future.
Of being a man. It's part of being a man. You need to master violence. You have to master violence. You should have some bladed weapon skills. You should have some bow and arrow fucking skills. You should know how to shoot a gun, and you should have some self-defense. You need to know how to defend yourself, and not because, oh my God, the world's going to end or you're going to get in all these fights, but
it's
just as a man, you should have that.
You
should have that confidence.
Right,
like,
right.
You should know. You should just know it. Like, oh, if something happens, I know. It's like fishing. You should know how to fish.
Right. Absolutely. It's crazy. The last, two what's it called to go? We did the AMA. Well, you didn't. You were gone. That's why I did the AMA. But I kind of highlighted, what WarTribe is about, right? And then somebody,
I don't know.
hey, no, Dan, not you. I'm trying to pull it up. It was pretty awesome. And that's pretty much what WarTribe is about. Exactly like what you're talking about. It's the it's training guys exactly on all of those things to include red pill, right? So it's like horticulture and agriculture, philosophy and history and debate and rhetoric. It's fitness and nutrition and health. It is marksmanship and self-defense, right? It's all of those things that you need. Oh, survival skills, right?
Style.
I love it. Too. I'm big on that. I've been talking about that quite a bit on the WarTribe.com, where it's a forum where I talk about all this stuff.
Beanie.
Dude, there's always a fucking time and a place and an attitude, right?
Time and place, exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. Some days you could fucking pull it off. It's a little bit chilly right now. It's fall.
I look good with my hoodie and my beanie on right now.
Yeah, it's a good style for right now.
It's good.
It's a little bit
Garage
crispy outside. Yeah, exactly. It's a little crispy outside. You could fucking rock
a little
it.
under the weather. It's all right.
But if you're rocking that every fucking day you come
I wear
on
this
here,
to the club.
Yeah,
that was
exactly.
the thing. I used to think I was big shit, right? Because I would go to the clubs. I would go to the club or bar down here in San Jose or whatever, and I'd have sandals and I'd wear this. Sandals and a beanie, and I'd go into the club with my baggy ass jeans. I'd get in, people would be like, "What the fuck?" But it was like because I had clout, so I could do what the fuck I wanted. So yeah,
right. Crazy.
Not good.
Not good.
Optics matter. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. Like that's the thing is like when you go and walk around Palo Alto,
we found it.
There are millionaires, multi-millionaires walking around everywhere. They look like homeless people.
Yeah,
they're dressed like homeless people. Like
Palo Alto is such a weird fucking place.
It's such a weird place.
It's like some of the top earners in the world, right? Some of the most expensive real estate in the world, and then you go around and you see these people, and they're just like, meh, just meh. right? Like,
And
that's it.
and that's the thing too is they'll have on, they'll dress like a homeless person,
Right.
right? But the flannel is $300,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just
right?
like,
So their outfit's still like, 3 Gs, but it
right.
looks like crap. It doesn't fit right. It's
Yeah,
too
it's so
baggy.
annoying.
It's just like designer or whatever. Their shoes are like $2,000 shoes, but they look like trash. It's wild. It's a wild thing, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just the attitude there. It's just, like I said, it's just meh. It's like frumpy. Like, it's cool to be
Mm-hmm.
frumpy. It's like you're locked in this fucking 90s grunge nostalgia, but mixed with this fucking upper fucking class mindset of like, I'm trying not to look like I'm upper class. That makes me more, what's it called?
Yeah.
That makes me more noble.
Yep.
It's
Virtue
insane.
signaling. They're
Oh, yeah.
virtue signaling with their outfits. Ooh, that's what they're doing, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're virtue signaling. I see. I'm
They
so
can't
I'm
not.
so
They
much
can't
better
not.
than everybody else. I have so much more money. I'm
'Cause I'm
doing
woke.
everything right.
Right.
I don't need to look a certain way.
Right. It's all a fucking style.
Yeah.
It's how people are like. Even the person who says I don't care about my style is signaling to someone, "This is my style.
This is my
This
style."
is who I am. This is my
Ed
image. This is my
Lattimore
brand."
said, "The game will always be played.
Yeah, it's
The game will
crazy.
always be played, whether you choose to take part in it or not. It's always being played.
Even if you're a
You-
fucking nun or a monk, even if
you
you're a
saying
nun or
that
a
I'm
monk
not-
and whatever,
yeah.
exactly, you're still
Well, you
playing
saying
the
that I'm
fucking
not
game.
I'm not taking part in this game. Well, that's the role you're playing. That's
Right.
your role in the game.
Yeah,
Like that. I'm sorry, but there's no way to avoid it. The game will
women are
always
great
be
at
played,
this. This
and
is how
you
women
are
play the
not allowed
game.
to cheat the game. You cannot cheat the game.
Women play the game. This is one thing I've noticed in my time of dealing with women is that women don't play the game by playing the game. They play the game by pretending as though they're not playing the game and then creating rules outside of the game. Does it make sense?
Yep.
Where it's like, oh, we're not playing baseball right now. We're going over here and we're going to do this other thing, right? And then we're going to make up a new rule. So it's not really baseball. It's this because that makes it more fair and equal.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, we're fucking playing baseball, bitch. Like, these are the fucking rules. But if she can manipulate you to change the
always-
rules of fucking
it's mov-
baseball to make it
moving the
easier for her.
goalpost. It's always moving the goalpost.
Always, 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 always.
That's why I like the far left when they do all this crazy shit. It's like really feminine because they're the ones who are always moving the goalpost.
Right.
You back them up against something and then they change what they were talking about.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I can't stand too is man, what was I just about to say? Like it's the mindset that like everything that women do, or this mindset coming from everything that they do is so enlightened and noble, and it comes from their heart and it's empathetic.
Yep.
Does it make sense? Where it's like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm nice and I'm good, right? And I'm doing it for the right reason. So therefore, kind of like what you're just talking about right now.
Well, there's the bullshit around empathy. Like you can be overly empathetic. Like if you have a predator in your backyard and you don't want to hurt it because you're empathetic and it kills your children, like
Right.
I'm sorry, you're not really empathetic. You're thinking small. You're thinking really small. You're not thinking big picture.
Well, that's the epidemic that's plaguing right now with mindsets.
Let all the migrants come in, and we
Yeah.
need all these people to come into our country. We need to be empathetic towards them. Well, you're not being empathetic towards the homeless people and the poor people in this country who that's gonna hurt the most. The people who are like, oh, we have to be empathetic to the environment and we have to put carbon taxes and eliminate fossil fuel usage. Well, where's your empathy towards the poor people who were going to die because they can't get food and they can't take care of themselves, they can't work because now you've limited their carbon footprint.
Yeah, that's insane. I started listening to this one environmentalist
You're
talk yesterday about how he's talking about how he's anti all these fucking like the UN stuff. He's an environmentalist and he's like anti all these new fucking what are the fucking people that are doing these crazy protests?
The Extinction whatever
guys,
party
yeah,
protest
rebellion,
whatever.
Extinction Rebellion. He's like anti these people. He's like, if you really cared about the environment and you really cared about, communism and all this other shit and being anti-capitalism,
Yep.
you would be sitting here saying like, let's fire up more coal plants and put more in Africa because XYZ. Like you don't give a fuck about
Nuclear.
nuclear. Yeah,
Nuclear. Nuclear. Like nuclear is the safest, cleanest, most productive energy source. But we've had one or two accidents in human history, and now people are all scared about it.
I would even say
I'd say three. I had like three big
Yeah, we had 3 Mile Island,
Fukushima, 3 Mile
Fukushima,
Island. Nobody died at 3 Mile Island.
and
Nobody
then
was
we
hurt.
had Chernobyl.
Chernobyl.
Now, here's the
And
thing.
those were a problem because of human error. A human fucked up.
I'm going to go so far as to say this on record, on air, that I believe Fukushima was a conspiracy. I'm going to go so far as to say that that was an orchestrated event, because if you actually go and you look at it, they right at that exact moment they were doing maintenance on all of the backup generators. Right? So the thing that people don't understand, the layman isn't going to understand that those things are designed to withstand a ton of shit, right?
Yep.
There's backup plan after backup plan after backup plan, right? There's these backup generators that are able to keep the water cycling so that the reactors do not overheat and melt down, right? But at that moment, that exact moment that this fucking earthquake hits and, you know, the tsunami comes charging in, all of the backup generators were down due to maintenance, which is the fucking stupidest thing, because there's 3 reactors, which means there's 3 backup generators.
Yeah.
If you had 3, would you down them all at the same exact time in order for maintenance?
Could be purposeful, but also it could humans can fuck things up. Well, somebody could have just been like, yeah, you know, let's just get it done quick. Let's do them all right now. And then boom, weather fucks up. There's a fucking hurricane or whatever the fuck it was.
Well, I would also tie this in further, though, to the fact that they started spreading all these rumors about radiation and tuna fish and radiation spreading to the Pacific and all this other stuff.
They tried to cover it up for a little while, too. That's another big thing. Another big human error, that the Fukushima thing. Like, they tried to, like, keep it under wraps themselves. They, instead of like, oh shit, big disaster, let's do something about it. They were like, oh no, nothing to see here for a little while.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So things got fucking epically worse.
Yeah, the Japanese are very prideful.
Yeah.
Either way, what that comes down to, though, is I think it's just if you really look at what happened after that, though, you got to tie it. I live fucking probably like 50 miles south now of San Onofre. We call them the boobs, right? There was a nuclear power reactor up in San Onofre, California, that was powering most of, you know, a good amount of Southern California and Arizona. Immediately after that, guess what they do? Resolution to shut down fucking San Onofre and decommission it, right? And then what happens to PG&E and SDG&E? Now, during peak hours during the summer, they get to fucking just whatever they want, right? And then you also have to tie it in the fact that since that time frame, how much of this globalist agenda has been pushed of environmentalism, the Greta Thunbergs, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
That was the perfect trigger to fucking spark people away from promoting nuclear.
One thing happens and then they start pushing. So, I mean, this is conspiracy theory. I put I have tinfoil under my beanie.
Yeah.
But this is conspiracy. This is like the theory. You know, it's not left versus right. It's the predator class versus the rest of us, and the predator class purposely divides us to conquer us. Mm-hmm. And the predator class wants servants. They want to return to like feudalism, where they can own everybody and tell everybody what to do. So one of the things they want to do is limit mobility. They want to limit humans' ability to move around and train and you go. Yeah, they don't want you to go to another city. They don't want you to go to another country. They want the poor people to stay put, stay where you are, and work. Just kind of like Hunger Games, right? Section everybody off into their little area, and you have to stay there. They want to control the internet, like China does. Okay, so then we can't even communicate to people outside of our community. Only we're stuck in this walled place. We can't get out. We can't travel in evil way. They enslave us, and we work cheap for them. That's the conspiracy world globalist whatever NWO shit that people talk about. And if I don't know, man, like you sit and think about some of this shit, like, is it really all an accident, or is that really what they're trying to do? Because when they talk about the Green New Deal or Greta, they're all talking about we need to stop flying, we need to stop traveling, we need to stop driving. Well, so what? We're supposed to just not go anywhere? We're supposed to walk and ride bikes? Yeah. And they're not stopping. Like they fly around all over the place. They're flying everywhere. They're not flying commercial. They're usually flying private jets.
Oh yeah, I want a private jet.
I want a helicopter. Or
I'll have one of those too.
I want like a
Dude,
drone thing that I can sit in and then drive around and fly like this.
that's epic. Except it's gonna get fucking cold up there, bro. Depending
I
on
can
how high.
wear like a whatever suit or put a
We're
case around it. Whatever. There's a way. There's
another
a way.
hoodie.
Where there's a will, there's a way. We'll make it. I'll get a bigger hoodie
Yeah, get a bigger
or a
hoodie
beanie.
and
Yeah.
another beanie. Exactly.
Grow my
Eskimo
beard
suit.
out a little bit more. That's the shit right there.
I mean, that'd be
dude.
fucking
That's
epic.
what I want.
That'd be epic.
The,
Like some fucking straight up like
the garage opens
Jetsons
in the
jetpack.
roof.
Yeah, Jetsons jetpack, dude.
Like, why not? Like, we're not far from it. Once the batteries get smaller and more powerful, like, you can have drones that can pick up. I've seen drones strapped to one of those military carriers, and it was 5-10 feet off the ground. They would move it around like that. If they can do that to like a military armored vehicle, they can get my ass off the ground. I've seen some guy built one himself. It was some fat guy in a lawn chair. I was like, it was big, right? But if that fat guy can do it with shit he made from home and get off the ground, like, we're not far. We're not far from everybody being able to get that.
If we're talking that way too, I would even say that we have some form of fucking clean energy out there that these energy companies and the government fucking know about. I mean, we've had perpetual motion things. We've got geothermal types of things. There's a way to cure this.
The ocean never stops moving. You tell me we can't figure out a way to harness that energy?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, even then we could even talk about the fucking the gravitational motion of the Earth. Just the Earth spinning alone is some form or way of creating and generating. It's a gyroscope, so that means that they're also. I think this is what Tesla was getting on with those pyramids, was that due to that stuff and due to the ionosphere and due to the magnetosphere, there's particles that are in motion that we can kind of use in order to create a long-standing energy off of that we can just get out of the air.
Man, we're all over the place today.
I love it, dude. This is my favorite type of conversation.
Yeah.
It's just fucking like stream of consciousness fucking taking.
Red Pill Smash Brothers. We're smashing everything today.
Yeah, we're fucking going through it. We're tearing apart the paradigm, baby. See you fucking later. So we got a question. Did you guys hear about the FBI vault drop on Twitter about the CIA group, the Finders, busted with tunnels underneath preschools in California? Child trafficking is the literal lifeblood of the deep state. And then he says, there's clean energy with Tesla technology that's now being abused for energy weapons, such as those used in California right now to start fires to make climate change panic. Hey, listen, that's deep conspiracy stuff. I'm not going to deny it, though. I'm not going to say that you're wrong.
Let me say you're wrong. I don't know. There's a lot of fishy things going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on.
Convenient. There was a convenient, like some of the fires. Somebody pointed out all the fires were along the path of where the rail train was supposed to go.
Crazy how that's happening, huh?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. But yeah, people, I think, no, this bullshit egalitarian mindset a lot of people have has prevented them from believing or understanding that there is some dark triad shit that goes on out there.
For sure. And
people do some crazy things. They don't mind killing people. They don't mind enslaving people. They don't mind hurting people to get what they want, to get ahead. Like, they don't see other people outside of their group or tribe as human beings. And that's really hard for some people to accept.
Would you not argue that that's part of our biology?
I think Stefan Molyneux made a good point of this in his talk, right? So there were some cold weather. Some people came from cold weather environments, right? A lot of the Asians came from Siberia. Okay, we had a lot of our people lived up in the mountains in Scandinavia and whatever like that. It was cold places. So if you didn't prepare for the winters, you had 4 or 5 months of ice and snow. If you didn't prepare, you died. And they had to be cold with their neighbors because sometimes their neighbor was lazy. Sometimes their neighbor didn't have enough stuff, or maybe a disaster happened, and now their neighbor has no food to last them. The neighbor comes knocking on the door. Hey, we ain't got anything. We can't make it. Like,
you got to help me.
Yeah, help me. Yep. And they'd have to say,
nope.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can't. Yeah. If I give you a little bit of food, then one of my children dies.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you should.
And I'm
have
more
prepared
invested in
better.
my genetics than I am in fucking
Yes,
taking
I'm
care
more.
of you.
I'm more invested in my survival than yours.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have that. I think you have a lot more. That's a part of it. It's part of
Right.
survival. No, understanding that you're helping your line live. You're helping yourself live, your legacy live, and that's something a lot of people can't understand today.
Yeah. I went on a little bit of a Twitter tirade yesterday, and I talked about that. The good majority of people today think that they deserve to live and that everything should just be comfy and happy. And unfortunately, that's a tell of a genetic beta, whether it be
Yep.
male or female.
If you think
This
everything should be equal and everybody should be happy and everybody should have the same thing. It's not realistic.
Yeah.
It's the egalitarian brainwashing.
Agreed. Yeah, it's again going back to the fight between the hardware and the software. The software has been conditioning people to believe that we could override our hardware, and the fact of the matter is, it's like
on top of that, it could be this way. It could be equal. Everybody could have equity. Everybody could have great lives, and the only thing stopping you from having that is somebody oppressing you.
right.
That's where it all comes from, right? That's where
yeah.
all this arguments come. This is where, well, like we could have equality if it wasn't for these people.
Right.
These people are holding us back. They're evil.
We got to eat the rich. Eat the rich right now.
The
because
utopia,
those are the people.
The utopia is possible if we just get rid of these people stopping it from happening.
TJ, do the night date. Never do. Well, I shouldn't say never do a day date. Sorry, we'll go back on topic here in a second. I'm just
Is it a first date? Yeah. Read his question.
Yeah. So he says, "Hey guys, speaking of smashing, I'm about to go out on a date," and I said, because I'm sitting here thinking, it's fucking 10:30. What kind of date are you about to go on? So I asked him what area he's in. He's like, I'm in Northern Phoenix area, which is awesome. Just shot out an afternoon or evening date. She's open to either. I'm thinking I do evening. Absolutely. Let's clarify though. Is it your first date?
Is it a first date? That's a big one, because sometimes I like to do. I like to see if they're worth the time of a night date. So I'll do a short date. We'll do coffee. We'll go for a walk. Or, if it's a first date too, sometimes you got to put in a little bit of time before you're going to get, to clap cheeks. So a hike, a walk, get some brunch, and then walk somewhere else, whatever. Like, I think those are great. But if you've been on 3 or 4 dates, like, it's time.
Then you're fine.
It's time, night. You meet up for drinks at 9 o'clock.
See, I'm of the opposite. I'm going to take an opposite stance from Jon on this one. Jon's playing a little bit more safe than I would. I'm a dice roller, because my goal is cheeks, like right off the bat. You know what I'm saying? Like, my investment, my time's precious. So if she's, so he says it's a first date off of Tinder. I would be pushing for an evening date, right? Now, here's the thing. John's right in an aspect. If you're questionable about her pictures, if she's the type of person that kind of looks a little bit like,
if the majority of her pictures are filtered,
yep,
or they're all from above,
right?
If she might
be a little bit chubby, I would do exactly what John's talking about. I would push it to I would do like a 2:30, 3 o'clock date, get some coffee. That way there, because if she turns out to be all right, then I would probably bump her to another date, and then I'd try to get her back to my place early somehow, some way, right? So I would do a coffee. I'd be like, hey, listen, I don't know what you're doing for the rest of the day, but why don't we go do some mini golf? That'd be fun, right? Let's go do some rock climbing, right? That way there, we can now start to break the barrier of touch and start to flirt. After that, I'd be like, oh man, you know what? I gotta head back to my place to let my dog out. Why don't you come back with me, and we could still go and do something, like, let's go get some dinner afterwards. But I just got to go let my dog out real quick, right? So she's back at my place. It's kind of innocent. It's kind of innocuous. We've already built up a little bit of the, sexual tension through rock climbing or mini golf or something, right? And then I try to fucking beat cheeks right then and there. And then afterwards, maybe we will go get some dinner. I don't know. I've already probably spent about $40, so I might call it there and be like, hey, listen, I got to take care of some work. Pleasure meeting you. Fucking boom, right?
So,
but if she looks hot, you definitely might as well fucking make it a night date. Nothing earlier than 8 8:30, right? Because you don't want to make it a dinner date.
Yep.
Just strictly drinks, build sexual tension as much as possible, and push for the fucking kill within an hour to an hour and a half.
So, okay, I got to add a little bit here. So when I do the day dates on a first date, it's because I'll also have something stacked for that night. That's a guaranteed.
Such
Because
as?
then, no, so I'll have one of my plates.
Oh, you have something else already fucking in there. Absolutely.
For the night,
Absolutely.
Right? So then I have no pressure.
Right.
I can be fun and excited, and then she's not that important, so that makes her. I'm the push pull is harder there because like she can't land me that day because I already have plans that night.
For sure.
Right. So yeah, it's one of the things. One of the tactics I use is stacking dates, and then the other is if you're qualifying the girl on the first date during the day, and then the girls that have been qualified, they get the night date. But I'll sometimes I don't mind the dinner date because I am so on my meals throughout the week. Like I want cheat meals.
Right.
So like I don't always like to eat alone. And that's just a personal preference. I don't mind paying for somebody else's dinner because I got enough of money to do that. So like I don't care. I want to eat something. I want to eat something good on the weekend. I want to take myself out. I'm more taking myself out, and I want somebody to have a conversation with, so I'm not just on my phone.
Sure.
Honestly.
Yeah, I prefer doing that with women that I've already hooked up with. And that way you kind of already know that it's going to happen, so you can just sit there and eat. You don't have to worry about game too much. I don't like doing a first date with someone with dinner because my goal is game. Like I need to be worrying about game. But if I'm sitting there and I'm eating,
part of my game is the most important thing on that date is the meal. So that girl is going into that thing, and I'm asking questions. I'm being curious.
Yeah.
But like my food is more important than she is.
If that's your game, I'm just saying. For me, mine is building seduction.
She's competing with my meal.
Huh. Yeah, I get it. That's part of attention. Like your meal has more attention than all that.
My meal has more attention and it's more important than she is.
I try to make it so that there's almost no barriers for her to have like any way of like distraction. Does it make sense? Like there's no way for her to really disassociate unless it's just a drink. Right? And most of the girls that I date, they don't have more than a drink before, if they even finish the drink, before seduction, attraction and arousal is already fucking at peak levels. And or I know that I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? I already know by one drink in, because I don't drink, they drink, right? So I'll go up and I'll get them a drink or whatever. I'll order them a drink, or someone will come over and ask, and I'm just like, oh, water, iced tea. And they'll be like, you're not drinking? I'm like, no, I got to work out tomorrow or whatever, and I don't want to be fuzzy, or I got a big deal I got to deal with or whatever. And then it'll come out after that I don't drink, right? But I'm always playing with them right in the beginning to like build the mystery. But for me, the dinner, like if we're sitting there ordering food, like I went on a first date like last week or 2 weeks ago with a woman, and she ordered food. Like it was like 9:30 at night, and she like ordered food, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, all right, fuck it, whatever, So she had some food and all this other stuff, and it kind of for me, it gets in the way. It gets in the way of what I'm trying to do. My goal is to smash. For you, yours is to smash and to have a good time.
I'm trying to have fun.
Yeah.
And then if things don't work out, then
I'm a fucking animal.
See you again.
I'm a savage. That's how it is, plain and simple.
Well, part of it is like I can get it. It's a phone call away.
Sure.
I don't have to put in. I really don't have to put in the work. You're either in or you're out.
Right.
I'm gonna do what I want to do, and honestly, this is funny, dude, because I'm up here in the Bay Area. I don't know if this is gonna happen down there, but girls get turned on watching me eat.
Yeah.
Because the guys around here are such pussies.
Right.
They're like, I order like a meal for like 6 people, and the girls are like, holy shit, I'm not gonna eat this much. I'm like, well. I was like, what are you ordering? I was like, I ordered this for me.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the fuck? And I'll eat a huge fucking meal in front of them, and they'll just be like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's a fucking man. I wonder what he looks like naked.
I wonder what his dick tastes like. Oh,
to me, that's part of like big dick energy. That's
for sure.
You gotta demonstrate big dick energy. You don't give a fuck.
When I'm out on my first date, dude, for me, I'm a hunter, and I'm fucking like, I'm hunting. That's what I'm doing, right? I'm playing the game as the fucking hunter, and she's the prey. And that's kind of all, like, that's the energy that I like to bring into it, right? And of course, you know, everything is a dance. Everything is fun and playful and all this other stuff. It's not like I'm sitting there like fucking breathing heavy and like stalking over her. But everything I'm doing is just like, we are in this dance. We are doing that. So it's up to you, TJ. You know, you got 2 good pieces of advice. You know, the beautiful thing about game too is there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, man.
Yep.
1,000 ways to skin a cat. What might work for you?
Figure out what you like, what you enjoy. Like, that's the thing, is that's what it's about. It's like doing
It's
what
your
you
game.
like. Do what
It's
you
your
like.
game. Exactly.
If you
It's
enjoy
tailored to
it,
you.
like, don't let anybody tell you not to do it.
Exactly.
That's
It's
part of
tailored
being an
to
alpha.
you.
Tailored to you. I enjoy it. Like, I've had girls that I just didn't click with, but like, and I still think it's interesting. I'm enjoying my meal, and I'm asking this person about their life and being curious. Because that's a big thing that I've worked on, is like not being judgmental, being curious, and like you find out some crazy things about people in the world.
Sure.
But just being open to like dialogue.
Dude, another big thing is exactly like what John's talking about. Ask open-ended questions that are going to allow her to dialogue for a long time. For some reason, I don't know what this is.
No
but
yes
when you
or no questions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the same thing with your children. Any dads out there watching, same thing. Don't say, "How was your day at school?" Fine. That's not it. It's like, "What'd you learn today?"
Right.
What'd your teacher say about your shoes? Whatever. Just something that doesn't require a yes or no answer. It's the same thing. Like, it's a lot of times, I mean, you have to treat women like children sometimes.
No, you really do.
You really do.
But I don't understand how, for some reason, opening up and asking them questions like that, right, where you let them go on these long diatribes about themselves, how that creates so much arousal. It's strange, right? A lot of guys will go in there and they'll ask a question, right? Kind of like what you just said, where it's like a one-word answer. It doesn't create that kind of dynamic. And then she'll always ask a question, or she'll be like, okay, well, tell me about yourself. You know, women aren't really good about asking those direct questions. They'll be like, oh, well, you tell me what I'm supposed to hear, kind of deal, right? Never give into that stuff. Always try to keep it on her. Don't avoid the question, because then you're going to look
Say less.
Yeah, say as little as possible and remain mysterious.
I actually kind of want to get that tattooed, I think, right here. Say less.
Yeah.
Just so I remind myself.
Okay, she suggests a place to eat. She wants to eat healthy, and this place is about eating healthy. She suggested. I don't know why you allowed her to suggest anything.
Yeah, you should have just told her place and time.
Right. Always. Maximum seduction happens when, you know, the only question I ask is, when are you free? And I'll tell you why. You know, there's a lot of people out there. Exactly. What's your schedule like? A lot of people out there kind of think that's a weak move. It's not. The worst part is to be clingy about time, because what it ends up doing is, go ahead.
I say when I'm free. Right. I have Wednesday and Thursday night free.
Right. That's fucking,
like,
that's
okay,
bold.
I'll make room. Room. I'll change something around.
And well, I would say that for you, that also plays in really well, because you are a pseudo celebrity. Because your value is already there, they're going to want to mold to your schedule. Whereas if you're just a run-of-the-mill dude...
My pre-selection.
Your pre-selection's high.
My pre-selection's high.
Right? It's like if I had a fucking Lamborghini and a private jet right now on Bumble and Tinder, I wouldn't be asking when are you free, right? I'd be like, hey, let's hang out. And then she'd be like, okay, well, when can we meet? Right? That's the point and level that I want to get to, right? But for right now, because I'm a fucking run-of-the-mill schlub, I'm just a fucking genetic and like personality alpha in a way, right? Not a fucking status alpha. I have to kind of still play the game in some kind of beta roles of like, hey, when are you free to meet? And kind of make it seem as though I'm going to placate to her, but the reality is I'm not. Right. But I have to get past first date, and I have to get in her presence before I can really start applying my alpha game. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I have to kind of play beta a little bit.
If you're doing Bumble and Tinder game,
right.
know, like,
right. Because you don't have any pre-selection.
Yeah. Well, you're just a picture and some typed words.
Sure.
Like,
Sure.
They have no feel of your energy or status or sign, just being around you. Like, it's different. They can't tell. You're just like every other carbon copy guy on there. They can't tell what you are.
So TJ, for you, man, it already kind of sounds like the frame is a little bit in her hands.
I would
I
I
wouldn't.
would I would go with a hard play, like pick the restaurant and the time.
Yeah.
Like it's already, yeah, try to take it back a little bit.
Be like, hey, you know what? I think I found a better place. Meet me at this place. Or I found a cool spot that you really enjoy.
Dress
Uh,
sexy.
yeah, meet me at this place at
Wear a
8:30.
dress. Tell her what to wear.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. And then leave the fucking communication alone until she says, okay, sounds good.
Say wear a dress and a wink.
Exactly.
But not the emoji wink. The old school
All right, he's working on bringing
colon
it
and the
back to him.
thing.
He's working on bringing it back to him. Yeah, dude. Find a nice place where you're not going to spend too much money. Loungy, right? I like gastropubs personally. A gastropub is the ideal location.
Also, well, you could pick a place that is in walking distance to the gastropub, right? So get the healthy food and then be like, hey, let's go and grab a drink. Because the girls, they bond with you, and when you travel, like time
Right.
slows down and they think they've spent more time with you when you travel from one location to another.
Yep. So do that. Set the time. Tell her what to wear. She's really going to enjoy it. Obviously, there's always fear that you're sounding pushy, but you're not. Play it cool. Play it cool. Plain and simple, man. It's, it's about being bold. It's about being confident.
Directness.
Yeah, exactly.
Women
Women love being led. Women love
Direction.
being led. Exactly.
Being direct in today's age as a man is an extreme turn on to women.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I actually build a lot of attraction when we're not sitting there eating, or I'm not sitting there drinking. It's about being in my space. She's in my space, and she has to jump over into my environment, right? And the fucking cool part is, because I'm so direct and so confident about it all, she builds attraction based off of that and ends up buying into my views, which is her coming over into my fucking space. It's awesome. Yeah, just be masculine. Exactly. It's the problem though, Bearded Adam, is the problem is most men aren't masculine today though.
They don't know how. Most people don't know what the definition of that is. Women have taken the term and corrupted it.
So when people are doing it, it feels awkward and like you're not being yourself. So it takes a little bit of time, right? You're going to feel rusty. It's just like for me, actually, just recently, I kind of started playing with my style a little bit more, right? And for the first few times that I went out, like I felt good. I felt like I dressed well, right? But at the same time too, it was almost like, whoa, like I'm being something different than I normally am. So therefore I don't feel nearly as confident how, like socially you're like, how are people going to respond to that? And it took me a little while to sit there and say, dude, who the fuck cares? Rock it.
Who cares?
Just go. Yeah, exactly.
Truth is, they don't care either.
Right.
Nobody cares. Nobody's really paying attention. Everybody's so much in their own head, they really don't give a shit.
Even when someone's judging you for being that playboy looking dude or the stereotypical fucking alpha Chad, like, awesome. Who fucking cares? You know what I mean? Like, did you go home and smash?
Haters.
Yeah, exactly. But a lot of us are like taught to be like humble and not promote ourselves in that manner. And you know what I mean? Fucking wear it. Just wear
Caring
it.
about how you look and how you present yourself, there's nothing wrong with that.
I agree. Yeah, I've been rocking it that way for quite some time. I even sat there too for a little bit. Like I'll go to some of the same places depending on where the girls are coming from. I only have like 5 places that I probably like go on dates to. And like depending on how, like who it is, if it's a first date and all that stuff, I might show up at the same place like 2 or 3 times a week. Right? And I sometimes worry, like walking in, I'm like, oh shit, is the bartender? Because I had this happen at one restaurant that I went to. This older Asian
I
dude.
know for sure. There's a few places that I like, and I'll take girls to the same place. And
Yeah.
the bartenders notice. People notice. And
Yeah,
quite
absolutely.
honestly, there's probably regular chicks in there that notice too, and they're probably gonna, be the ones that I can go on dates with later because they're like, oh shit, this guy has high value. He's always on dates with somebody hot.
Yeah.
I want to be one of those girls.
Agreed. But when a man is comfortable and strong in himself, both men and women show up to get in that light. People love it. It's absolutely true. It's just like what Jon and I are talking about right now. Like if you do show up to the bar and you're fucking alpha Chad, Like, who cares if people are judging you for being fucking alpha Chad, for looking good, for dressing nice, for smelling good, for having your hair done well, even your fucking eyebrows. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't feel bad about fucking, if you got some bushy ass eyebrows, go get them shits fucking tweezed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
look
that
fucking
was
good.
that was a hard one for me to start trimming my eyebrows, like because they're getting long.
Yeah.
But I got a little shaver that has a guard on it, and I can.
Yeah, fuck it. Who cares? It's okay. Like, I line up my fucking beard now. I line up everything. I get my fucking eyebrows done every once in a while. You
My
know?
grandpa had some caterpillar eyebrows.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta, like, looking clean, having sharp edges, all that good stuff, dude. Like, it adds attraction. It's just like, for some time, I didn't wear fucking cologne.
To me, how you looked on the outside is a direct reflection of who you are on the inside. If you don't care about how you look, what else don't you care about? What else are you incompetent with?
True. Yeah, Tanner Guzzi does a tremendous job with his stuff right now. Like, he'll post a lot of things up of like, oh yeah, men don't care about how they look. Yep. And then just shows all these fucking gangsters from the past. Like, all of those fucking dudes, even the just fucking mob bosses. Genghis Khan. Yeah, dude.
Picture Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, like all these Roman emperors and generals. Like, the Vikings, you know,
you gotta play the part.
Impeccably groomed beards and hair.
You gotta play the part. Yeah. Gotta play the part. If you're trying to go out, you know, even today, kind of like what we talked about, it's investing in yourself. Like I said, I took $230 and I went to fucking H&M and I bought fall, some fall.
I need to get some sweaters. I think it's head over to Nordstrom Rack.
Yeah, exactly. Like, go to Nordstrom Rack, go to Zara, go to H&M, go to Express.
That's what I tell people is you need to figure out your style a little bit, what you like, what looks good on you. You know, lift weights, get jacked, of course. Yeah. But then you can go to like Nordstrom's Rack and you get shit cheap, dude. I got so many compliments over these boat slipper shoes I got. I got them for like $30. Yeah. I got them for like $30. Like, oh my God, look at your fancy shoes. I'm like, oh my God, these are like, fucking, you probably paid more for your flip-flops than I paid for these shoes.
But it's just like what we talked about, like wearing this is a fucking $6 V-neck from fucking H&M. But because it fits well and because it's clean.
You can get a pack of Calvin Klein V-necks at, I think, Costco for like $15.
Dude, I went on Amazon. I saw a 3-pack for $9.99. The fucking shirt was great. Great shirts, man. Yep. But just like what you're talking about, I'm wearing a fucking $6 shirt, but I wear it like it's fucking Armani Express because I'm in good shape, the way that I hold myself.
It's all because about the fit.
It's about the fit. Well, it's also too, I mean, if you have fucking stains and it's dull, well, you know what I mean? So I call it fit and vibrance, right? How vibrant it is.
That's good. Fit and the vibrance. That's good.
If it's vibrant, like those shoes that you had on, those were vibrant because they were newer. Even though they weren't fucking $30 or they were $30 and they weren't fucking hundreds, you wore them though. You wore them like they were fucking $100. You exuded that. You exuded that to people, and that's why people felt the need to compliment. They're like, "Dang," you know. And even taking some risks too with your style. For a long time, I sat there and I was like, "Oh, fuck those stupid ripped jeans and those skinny jeans." You know, only faggots wear those things.
I was like that with like bracelets and.
I'm still that way with jewelry. I don't wear jewelry.
It's a struggle, but like I have big wrists, so like I bought a bracelet thingy, like whatever, and it broke because my wrists are too fucking big. I was like, damn. It was cheap though, so whatever.
Don't send her a picture. Listen. What she's trying to do right now, TJ, is she's getting nervous. She's getting the pre-date anxiety, and she's trying to figure out a way to disqualify you. Or just attach a pic to my number because she's got a lot of them. No. Listen, you got to play it hard with her right now. She's trying to disqualify you. She's trying to figure out a way to not go out on this date. She's going to look for something in that photo to be like, oh, he's not that cute. He's not whatever. And this is a standard shit test. Will he give in to my demands? So she's playing it twofold. Say, listen, we're going to see each other in a couple hours, right? You'll see me then, right? You'll see what I look like when you see me kind of deal, right? Or don't even respond. Be like, see you in a couple hours.
Yeah. I'd say,
you know what I mean?
I'll see you in a couple hours.
See you in a couple hours, smiley
face. You're going to see all of me in a couple hours. Yep.
Exactly. You're going to see all of me in a couple hours, smiley face. Perfect. Send, right? Here's the thing, guys. A lot of men out there, we get it too. We get pre-date anxiety a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
When I get a girl's number, I have a rule now, especially when I get it off of social media. Actually, when I get a girl's number, hands down, I do not text them for an entire day. For an entire day, right? The second she gives you her number, she has acquiesced power over to you. Now it's your job to harness that power and sit in that tension, like Bearded Adam just said. Your job is to ensure that that tension continues to build and you don't just blow your fucking load, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second you text someone, like right after you get their number, you're already you're portraying a certain type of energy, right? It's one that
Desperate.
Exactly. Desperate, needy, that you don't have abundance.
That
It's
you
a
don't have,
scarcity mindset. You're not coming from a place. Let that tension build and do not, right? The next thing, like I just said, when you guys set up a date, you got to understand too, women are going to sit in that tension for a long time and they're going to stew and they're going to try to figure out a way to disqualify you. Okay? So I try not to set up my dates. I'll text the day before that I want to have the date set up and I'll be like, hey, when are you free? She's like, or are you free tomorrow? Or let's go out tomorrow. Like more of a statement. Okay, what do you have in mind? And then I say, I'll text you tomorrow. I'll text you tomorrow with the details.
I'll say, I'll plan something. I'll text you with the details.
Yep, exactly. Now, if I'm planning on having a date at 8:30,
plan something, I'll let you know.
If I'm planning on having a date at 8:30, I might even say, the day before, I'll say, let's shoot for 8:30, right? Just so that she has that time frame already slotted off, right? We're gonna go out at 8:30. I'll send you the details tomorrow, right? I don't text her, right? Because she's like, I'm going out with a high value dude. He's giving me all the signals of high value right now. I'm very excited for this date. That's how it should be. You're also very excited as well. And most people are gonna want to wake up in the morning, right, first thing, and be like, hey, how you doing? Hope you're having a great day. No, don't do that. No. Keep it silent, right? Because you're the one of value, right? And if you're the one of value and you're fucking texting her first thing in the morning, like she's on your mind and you're all excited and you're trying to validate the fact that you got a date tonight, right? Hey, are we on for tonight? What's that signal? So I don't text. I do not text until like 12:30, right? Or even 2:30. Like I'll go fucking bold, like 6 hours before.
I give myself 2 or 3 hours before the date. I'd be like, hey, we still good for this time?
Oh, well, I don't do
because
that.
I don't want to get, because I've been stood up.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. I don't do that though.
I'd rather get that 3 hour window so I can make new plans.
Right. So hear me out. Hear me out on my strategy though. I text around 12:30 to 2:30, and I say the location of where we're gonna go. Right? I send the location, I send the time, and then I tell her what to wear. And I do not say, we still good. Because it's on her. It's on her to reinvest and be like, sounds good. Or can we push it back 15, 20 minutes? Or, you know what I'm saying? Or see you there, right? She's going to say, see you there, right?
Yep.
And then she's committed. Exactly. Yeah. But I don't do it more than, I guess, 12 hours before the date, 6 hours before the date, because then in that 6 hours, in her fucking crazy girl brain, what she's going to be trying to do? She's going to be trying to find ways to disqualify you. Hey, do you have an Instagram? Hey, what's your Facebook? Can I find, like, when she texts that stuff, I won't respond for like an hour to let her know that that's not a fucking good text to send me, right? I withdrew attention. Let that stuff fizzle down, and then I'll send exactly the reply that Jon and I just talked about. You're about to see me in a couple hours. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Those kinds of things. So you really, really got to manage time. You got to really manage energy, and you got to really manage your disposition as a man, because you're going to be like, I'm trying to get some cheeks tonight. And part of you is like, yes, I'm all wound up. I don't want to ruin this. So I'm going to check in and I'm going to do all these kind of nice guy things. Fucking total fucking moist or total dry panties. Yep, dry panties, dude.
You're her only option. She's not impressed. But speaking of time, we gotta wrap this up. I gotta get back to the children's.
What it is, how? All right, cool. Yeah, boy. All right, gentlemen. Actually, this is where I got to make the announcement. I'm going to be moving on Wednesday, so I cannot do Wednesday.
Right.
So we'll shit.
Well, and
And
I'll
I don't
be
know on
in
Saturday.
San
You're going to be in San
Diego.
Diego on Saturday.
Yeah. Next week we might.
And I got to debate still whether or not I'm going to go out to Phoenix, the Hot Dude Con, or if I'm going to stick around. So we'll see. It's up in the air for next week. However, tomorrow I will be live with War Story Sunday, and then next Sunday you'll also see me War Story Sunday as well. So with that said, you guys know the fucking routine. Check out all our shit.
Check out johnfish.net. He's
cool.
Find most stuff there.
TJ, I might be in Phoenix next weekend for Hot Dude Con, so I'll keep you guys posted. It's just really tight right now because I'm having to move, and I had to adjust my schedule based off of that. So we'll see. I'll be coming to you guys live tomorrow and maybe another time this week from just my phone or something like that. Too, so.
From my YouTube official John Fitch, I haven't fully decided, I may be live streaming the fights with the watch along. I'm not showing the fights, but I'm gonna be watching them and, commentating. And there's gonna be several. There's Canelo is fighting, and then you have the UFC. So I may be sitting out here in the garage with my stuff rolling. I got my nice new monitor over here. It's beautiful. Got for $25.
Dang.
Coming up.
Well, shit. All right, guys, go be a parent, and I'm gonna go hopefully on Hot Dude Party. I think Dude Party's on live right now. We'll see. Anyway, with that said, I'll see you guys tomorrow at 5 p.m. for War Story Sunday, and then we're going to be taking about a week break for Red Pill Smash Bros. So we'll see you next Wednesday. Not this. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. We'll see ya.
All right, dudes.
See ya.
Laters.